I'm Dr. Gaurav Ganeshwala. I'm a consultant interventional cardiologist at Ruby Hall Clinic, Pune. I'm going to share an interesting case which we performed a few days ago. This elderly gentleman, he's a diabetic, hypertensive and a chronic smoker. He presented to us with anterior wall non-ST elevation MI. He was stabilized with dual antiplatelets, statin, low molecular weight heparin. Later on the next day, he underwent coronary angiogram, which revealed a critical double vessel disease. So, concentrating on the angiogram, it's a left codominant circulation. However, LCX does not have any significant stenosis in the major arteries. Left anterior descending is the culprit artery. It's a type 3 vessel with a large circulation. There is a proximal ectasia followed by critical calcific stenosis in the mid and distal segment, and the calcification is quite dense here. The right coronary artery is a codominant circulation, and if you concentrate on the mid segment, there is a tight stenosis with dense calcification in the mid RCA. If you concentrate in the RAO view, the stenosis and calcification is more evident. And another interesting finding here is, if you look at towards the left coronary artery, you can notice the ring calcification. It is almost like a circular calcium here. That is always a sign of dense calcification or heavy calcification. So coming back to the culprit artery, LAD. So whenever you have calcific stenosis in a background of myocardial infarction, it is always a bad news. So this kind of lesions where you have significant calcification, you are going to require high pressure balloon dilatation or rotablation, which may result in significant distal microembolizations, and you may end up with slow flow or no reflow kind of situation, and which may lead to complications on table or post procedure. So in this particular case, we had options like non-compliant balloon, cutting balloon, scoring balloon or rotablation. The problem with non-compliant balloon in a significant calcific artery is there is unequal distribution of pressure when you inflate the balloon at the lesion site, and this may result into significant dog boning effect and may end up with extensive dissections, and very rarely in a case of calcific stenosis you may end up doing a perforation. The cutting balloon is a very interesting option, but the problem with cutting balloon is its heavy profile. So taking a cutting balloon through a calcific lesion to the mid or distal LAD is really difficult. Scoring balloon again has similar problems. Rotablation I would not prefer in this particular case, since it is a case of myocardial infarction which is only 1 day old. So we may end up having significant distal microembolization and complications related to slow flow or no reflow. So in this particular case, we decided to go ahead with a special kind of balloon, an OPN-NC balloon. So you can see the LAD is wired with run-through hypercoat wire, and this is a 2.5 into 15 millimeter OPN-NC balloon. There is no problem in the tracking down of the balloon. This balloon, interesting thing is, it behaves like any other semi-compliant balloon. It has a very small profile, so usually we don't have any problems in tracking down of this particular balloon. But in case if we find any problem, we may always go for extra support wires like Grand Slam wire. Now most important thing here is, look at the expansion of the balloon. So this balloon has got double layers, and it provides a uniform distribution of pressure dynamics inside the balloon, which results in controlled growth and uniform expansion of the balloon. So there is no dog boning effect. The lesion has opened up, no residual stenosis, and balloon appears expanding uniformly. So the distal lesion here was dilated at as high as 30 atmospheric pressures. Again in the proximal lesion, you can see the same things. Balloon has expanded uniformly, no residual stenosis, no dog boning effect, what we see in usual NC balloons. Here we went at as high as 36 atmospheric pressure, and after aggressive balloon dilatation, this is the check angio. You can see the lesions have opened up very well, bed preparation looks adequate, flow is maintained. However, there is small dissection at the distal lesion, but that is not a concern in this particular case. It is very common in calcific stenosis. This is very interesting. The other problem what we find when we are dealing with a calcific lesion is, even after rotablation or balloon dilatation, tracking down of stent is very difficult. In this particular case, we had a long lesion extending from the mid to distal LAD, and that is why we had to use a long stent, a 3 into 48 millimeter stent. But you can see the stent is sailing through the vessel very easily, no resistance, no difficulty whatsoever. So this again tells us that the bed preparation is excellent. The position is confirmed, stent is deployed. Again, very important, the stent is expanded very well uniformly. You don't see any residual stenosis or any difficulty in the deployment of the stent. Stent was post-dilated with a 3O NC balloon at high pressures, and this was the final result. Stent has expanded very well. The flow distally is TB3, no residual stenosis, no edge dissection, overall satisfactory myocardial blush. So in this particular case, we could avoid rotablation or cutting balloon, and we could achieve result which is as good as with rotablation. So this NC balloon here helped us in making the procedure very simple. Coming on to the right side, same wire run through hypercoat was used in this particular artery. Initially I thought that this may be a relatively softer lesion, hence I decided to use the conventional NC balloon. However, you can see here the conventional NC balloon is having trouble in opening up the lesion. There is a dog bone effect, lesion is not giving away. Hence I finally decided to use the same OPN NC balloon which was used on the left side. So this is again 2.5 into 15 millimeter OPN NC balloon. Now you can see I am going at almost 35 atmospheric pressures. The balloon has expanded uniformly. There is no dog bone effect. This is the trackability of stent after OPN NC balloon. No difficulty in tracking the stent. Again, it is sailing through the vessel very easily without any kind of difficulty. The procedure afterwards was very simple. Stent deployed, post-dilated with 3O NC balloon, and this was the final result. You can see the stent has expanded well, no edge dissection, TB3 distal flow, satisfactory myocardial blush. So in this particular case, we used OPN balloon in both LAD and RCA, and we could achieve result as comparable to rotablation without having any complications. So the message from my side is OPN NC balloon is a relatively small profile balloon. It behaves like any other semi-compliant balloon. So trackability is not a major issue with this particular balloon. However, in case if you face any difficulty in trackability of balloon, you can always go for extra support wires like Grand Slam wire. The other important point here is it's a double layer balloon which actually has equal distribution of pressure inside the balloon, which results into controlled growth and uniform expansion of the balloon, and this actually prevents extensive dissection or perforation and opens up the calcific stenosis very adequately. So this makes our procedure easy. You can go as high as 45 atmospheric pressures. In this particular case, we used this balloon at 36 atmospheric pressure on left and right both the arteries without any complications. So many times we have situations, we have complex calcific lesions where rotablation is necessary, but we avoid angioplasty and we send the patient for CABG because of inavailability of rotablation or sometimes due to fear of rotablation. But I personally feel that this case may be an example. You can use OPN NC balloon in such moderate to high level calcification with any kind of with similar ease without any kind of complications. So I would like to share my personal experience. I initially started using this particular balloon in in-stent restenosis, and now I am regularly using this balloon even for de novo calcific lesions. I initially used to go at pressures like 25, 30, 35 atmosphere, and now I am using this at even at 40 atmospheric pressure without any difficulty. So this is probably a new tool or new instrument in our basket which you can use regularly for similar kind of cases without any complications, and you can avoid rotablation and you can avoid the difficulties which we face with cutting balloons. Thank you very much.